all the way comfortably down onto our backs. And begin to feel the breath flowing through our body. Let your inhales pump the lungs very full. And nice, relaxed exhales. Nothing too forceful. Just starting to get our lungs pumping for us. You'll notice that one of the themes I'm going to carry through our class today is what I'm going to call box breathing. I call it that because there's 4 parts of it. So in my brain, my eyes are tracing the 4 corners of a box. And so when I'm traveling with my eyes going up the left edge of the box, that's when I take my inhale. Usually I go about 4 slow counts. When I trace along the top of the box, it's holding the inhale. So just a pause while your lungs are already inflated. The next edge going down is the exhale. And then at the bottom, we pause without air for that same 4 counts. Everything is 4 counts to bring us back to the beginning when we need to inhale. So you'll notice there will be a couple of different movements we'll take throughout class today where we start to incorporate that type of breath in our flow. So we go between 2 poses using that breath to take us through it. And so let's start off just laying on our back with that simple box breath. So I'll count you through a few rounds. So we'll start with just a nice exhale so you're prepared. And then when you're ready, take an inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. I'll take you through 2 more rounds like that. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Good work. Let yourself return back to your normal natural breath, maybe a little bit deeper pumping than our absolute resting breath. And so that circle is, I imagine it in my brain like a circuit. And when I take this breath multiple times, it's like I've completely pumped my lungs and held it long enough for my body to receive that extra oxygen. And then when I've released it and then held without the oxygen, it's like I'm allowing the circuit to go complete. And so think of this class today as recharging your batteries, as completing all the circuits that need to be completed so that the electricity can flow easily and freely to all parts of our body. And so that's the image that we'll carry with us as we travel onward. So with that idea to lead us on, let's begin taking knees into the chest. Just a couple of nice gentle rocks on the hips. Nothing too intense. Just checking in with that low back. And we'll take a nice twist. Both knees simply go over to the left. Let the spine start to open. And notice which parts of your lungs you're breathing into. As we're really pumping our lungs, helping our circuits complete today, we have to build that extra awareness. Am I breathing into the lower parts of the lungs, the middle parts, or the upper parts? Perhaps bringing awareness that you never really have to your lungs. Another really good inhale. And exhale. Start to lift the knees up. Take that same twist to the second side. Start to connect with the breath here. Where does our breath want to flow? And another good inhale. Exhale, start to bring the hips down onto the ground. And here already we're going to take our way up toward a seated position. So if you'd like to roll like a ball to rock up, that's fine. If you just want to come directly up, that's fine. Once we're here, just take a comfortable cross-legged seat. Posture nice and tall. And let's open up our shoulders for a moment, giving our lungs that chance to open. So allow yourself to open both arms. They're about level with the shoulders is the placement, and then continue to pull it clear back behind you. The shoulder blades should be squeezing together. And breathe in, imagine you're breathing into the very front part of the lungs. One more inhale. And then exhale, just the right arm comes across the body. The left arm hooks around it to help pull it in for a nice shoulder stretch. Things like that. Sometimes it's nice to drop the left ear to the left shoulder. This helps the right shoulder get a bit deeper stretch. Huge inhale, hold back open, taking 2 breaths, trying to pump the lungs as much as they can. And when you come across the second exhale, left arm goes across. Maybe right ear drops down to right shoulder. One more inhale here. A nice relaxed exhale. And then inhale, open back one more time. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind you. And this time 3 breaths. Good. As the arms drop down, grab onto one of your blocks. And we're gonna start strengthening up our shoulders and our arms. What we're going to do is take the block into our hands, and we're firmly pushing into the blocks. The elbows are bent almost a 90-degree angle so that you've got a lot of pressure you can push directly into the block. You should feel your pectoralis muscles immediately engage to try to push into it. And as we do this right here, we're going to take 1 cycle of box breath with the hands low, and then 1 cycle of box breath with the hands a little bit higher. So it might be at forehead height, it might be up to the head. So I'll guide you through that breath. Start off with the low, so maybe right about belly button level. And then from here, take a nice inhale for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold with the inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Moving the block up to the higher level. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. One more time, low. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. One more time, high. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Rest the block down for a moment. Let the arms just kind of shake out like noodles. Not too hard, nothing too vigorous. And then when you're ready, let your right leg reach open to the right side. Left leg can stay out in front of you. First of all, keep your torso forward and just slide forward. So it might be nice to have the block in front of you if you want to rest your forehead down onto the block. Or you can just kind of let your head release over. So personal preference there. From here, start to walk the hands over toward the right leg, getting that deeper stretch on the right side. As we start to rise back up, switch out the legs. Going forward first. Yeah, personal preference, whichever you like better. We're still getting our brain here. Yes. Start to walk toward the straight leg. Okay, as we rise up from here, our legs are back out in front of us. And what we're going to do is either hold our hands around the right thigh or set up a huge hug around the right thigh, whatever we're capable of reaching. Lean back just enough that you can kind of balance here. And then we're going to try to extend this leg straight and bend the knee again. We're going to try to repeat. Here's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Immediately switch sides, feeling that gentle strength that we're building. Lean back just a bit, and when you're ready, try to straighten up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now our hamstrings are a little bit more prepared. So from here, we're going to start coming forward into a nice forward fold. If you're sitting on a chair, you'll just start to work the legs a little bit straighter as we go, just leaning forward to a comfortable level. If you're here on the ground, set that hug back up around both thighs. So this glues our torso right up to the thighs, making it so we're already including some of the low back and the glute muscles. And so from here, we'll just start walking one foot an inch forward, and then the next foot an inch forward. And you're just going to slowly walk your way toward a forward fold. You probably just reach down in the middle if that'll help you balance. Good luck. Try. Okay, that sounds good. Just don't go to the point where you're falling off. Don't do that. No injuries today. No. So some people you'll see end up almost at the beginning, that's as deep as they can go. Some people almost end up flat. It really just depends on how open those low back muscles are to help you go into that forward fold. Try to see if the head can just be comfortably released. And we're just gonna pause here for a moment, letting those hamstring muscles get a really good chance to stretch. Release our hands, we come up toward a seated place. If you can maintain the strength of stack pose, just come sitting up all on your own. If you prefer to come back to the comfortable seat cross-legged, that's fine. Here we're going to grab both of our blocks and we're going to place a block in each hand just as a little bit of weight. The arms will either extend out to each side for a lot of weight in the arms, or you can bend the elbows to make it a little bit easier. So you're choosing the amount that you can do. I think we all have a grasp of the box breath by now. The inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. So what I want us to do with the blocks in our hands like this is take 3 rounds of that box breath. So whenever you're ready, find the tall posture and let the breath begin. Good. As you finish that third set, release. That feels good to just not have that weight. It's funny how such a light weight, when you're extending it out, can count for a lot. So go ahead and take just a comfortable seated place again. The right hand goes down, chair leg or floor. The left hand goes up and over. And feel free, as we're opening up that shoulder that just worked, feel free to have a little bit of mobility. So that might look like the hand traveling backwards a little bit and forwards a little bit. I personally like how that kind of milks out my shoulder, getting all the tight muscles with a little bit of stretch. But if you like stillness, that's okay too. And just another really good inhale. And then exhale, let's gently start to rise. Switch it out. Yeah, start to fill the lungs already. Taking a chance to breathe. Maybe the shoulder wants to be stretched forward and backward, or maybe you're happy already. As we start to rise, let's make our way up onto hands and knees. We're going to take our cat-cow. So let your whole spine round all the way backwards, and then belly comes forward and through. So it's all about the rib cage and the vertebrae, trying to get the deepest stretch they can to both directions. And take a breath in this. Nice exhale. And inhale. We'll take a few more. So if you want to do the box breath with this motion, you would simply hold for that kind of forward routine. Personal preference, so if you prefer the pumping in and out, that's okay as well. Good. Last cycle of breath, in and out. And then from here, just a moment with downward facing dog. So the legs straighten up tall for a moment. We're simply using this stretch to help us get to a point where we step the right foot in between hands, and then the back knee can gently drop back down. If you ever need more padding on your knee, you can fold the mat over. This one, I want you to do the one where you go wide. Oh, yeah. So one knee's bent and then the other one. Yeah, just like that. Yep. Have your hands on your front knee. Yep. And then start sinking your hips forward. Allow the heart to be straight or even leaning backward a little bit. Good. From here, the front leg goes straight, and then we lean back over that side. Even deeper stretch. Sometimes it's nice to grab a block for each side, just to make it so that the heart's not just rounding, it's nice and lifted with the release. Or you can just reach the ground easier. From here, I want us to do 2 cycles of the box breath, alternating between these movements. So when we bend the knee and we're lifting the heart up, that's going to be our inhale for 4. Hold. When we do our exhale, straighten the leg, slide forward. And hold. So 2 more rounds of that. Knee bent, heart lifting, inhale. Hold. Straighten leg, exhale. Hold. One more, inhale. Hold. And exhale. Good. As we come back to normal breath, take that leg back, a moment with downward facing dog, legs wiggling out. And step it to the second side, left foot forward. We're allowing our hips to sink forward, heart lifting up and back. This is just normal breath for now. Starting to let the muscles themselves open up into this shape. Okay, leg goes straight, drop hands down. Even though we're not focusing on the breath yet, still feel the lungs completely opening, expanding, and relaxing out. So now we'll start the alternations. So come to the bendy variation, heart lifting up and back. Inhale for 4. Hold. Straighten leg, exhale 4. Hold. And 2 more. Straight leg, exhale. And 1 more. Last one. Good. As we start to send this leg back, take the transition of down dog, maybe pedaling out legs for a moment. And eventually coming up to a nice forward fold toward the top of the mat. You can use the chair or you can use the blocks for the hands to rest down onto. Go ahead and turn it 90 degrees. Yeah, because we're going to want a little bit of space between this ribs. Beautiful. So bending forward at the hips. Nice stretch through the legs. You do want the hands resting on something, so if you can easily reach floor, that's fine. If it's chair or blocks, that's fine. But from here, we're heading into supported warrior 3. So start letting the right leg kick out long behind you. Either holding here is fine, or if you'd like to increase the difficulty, bend the knee so the toes go above the knee. And then we're going to pump that foot up and down 10 times. So going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the leg to drop it down and just let the leg stretch as we're carrying that forward fold again. Start setting up to the second side, left leg swings back. Absolutely fine to hold here. If you want to go for the harder variation, foot comes up, and then start to pump. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the leg to drop down. The leg gets to stretch after that word. If you're using the blocks, pick them up as you start to roll your way up to stand. From here, leave your right foot forward and slide the left foot back. You're leaving both legs straight, and we're going to drop down into pyramid pose. So blocks or chair, you start to lean forward so that you get a nice stretch through that leg. Yeah, if you can reach it forward. Look close to the wall so you can maybe catch it. Yeah. Okay, you just fall. No, that's not okay. No falling today. Just enjoying the peacefulness of being right here in this stretch. We're going to bend the front knee to help us rise up, and then leave it bent. Only if you want it to go a little bit harder, you can slide the legs further apart, but this is a good distance already. So from here, you've got two options. Either arms, the block in each arm as we do arm circles, or if arm circles by themselves are hard enough, just do it without the block. So personal preference. Get it set up, make sure your balance is set. Front knees bent so that we're building a little bit of the leg strength. And then we're gonna go for 5 circles to each direction. So nice and slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, set the blocks back down. Front leg goes straight again. That same pyramid stretch. And then to come out of it, you're either just gonna slide your back foot forward, coming into a forward fold, or if your balance is okay, slide your blocks forward your hands forward on the blocks, into that free movement with warrior 3, and then drop the foot down, forward fold. Good. Let the legs stretch and rest. And rising up to stand, I'm personally gonna have blocks in my hands. Second side, left foot stays forward, right foot slides back, both legs straight. Hips are definitely facing forward as you start to drop the blocks down. Going into that nice pyramid stretch for a moment. As I'm here, the first thing I think about is straightening the front leg, so that usually that means that I'm not locking the knee, but I'm engaging the quadricep, that front of the thigh, so that the knee lifts just a hair more. The second thing I think about is trying to straighten and flatten the low back. Back is too low at the blocks, so I'm going to use the chair again. Okay. Another breath here. Exhale. Bend the front knee to rise. This is going to be arm circles again, so blocks or no blocks. Yeah, catch yourself. Okay. Front knees bent. Finding enough challenge of the strength. And then when you're ready, 5 circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Another moment with pyramid. Blocks dropping back down. Try to work that front leg towards straight again. Okay, the same transition out. You either slide the foot forward and you're just in the forward fold already, or slide the blocks forward. Come for a brief balance on the front foot, back foot floating. One more inhale. And then exhale, the foot rests next to the other. We're in that nice stretch for the legs again. One more breath. And we'll start to rise. Good. As we're coming up to stand, we're going to take a few rounds of that box breath again, getting ourselves back into that breath, because then we're going to try tree pose with the box breath. So just standing mountain pose, feel your feet connected to the earth. Feel the hips stacking over the ankles, shoulders stacking over hips, maybe even shoulders squeezing back a little bit, maybe ears slightly back, very tall posture. And from that tallness, feel how much your lungs can pump. So as we take inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. So let's take one more breath like that. Good. So we feel the calmness right now. Let's try to tune into the calmness as we go into the balance. You can be absolutely by the wall if you want to. Shift your weight into the left foot. Right foot is either in kickstand, the toe still on the ground, or maybe the whole foot rises up to ankle, calf, maybe thigh. Finding the balance here. Sometimes I find it helpful to have hands at the heart. Feel the calmness in your body. And let's try a round or 2 of that breath. Inhale 4. Hold. Exhale 4. Hold. Maybe one more. Good. This one drops down. Second side. Pick the variation of tree pose that's working today. Posture setting up tall. Sometimes I see people in tree pose kind of leaning forward like they're struggling for balance, but just keep your tree nice and tall. And when you're ready, take the box breath, 1, maybe 2 rounds. So we drop this foot down. Let's work our way back down onto the ground or onto the chair. So inhale up, exhale a nice forward fold, and start to walk backwards towards downward facing dog for a moment. Good. Beautiful, beautiful. And then in toward child pose. So sitting on the chair, this would just be leaning over your legs. You're welcome to come back to the chair if you want. You're like, that looks like good strengthening, but you're welcome.
Trying.
You're doing good. Good. Let this be a restful pose for a moment. The back muscles just releasing. Okay, start to walk the hands in. We're going to use this position to help us take a nice wrist stretch. So it might be helpful for the knees to be a little bit wide. For you, you're going to do the stop sign up. So what we do first is take the right hand. When you place the hand just immediately on the ground, rotate it around. So the thumb goes off to the side, the middle finger is pointing toward you, and the hand is down. So this will be, yeah, there you go. And flip, so do the stop sign, and then just rotate it. That's the way. Oh. Yep, that way. Ow. Did that one hurt? Yeah, you can go directly up too. You can go just
okay. I'm trying.
Is it the shoulder that got it? Okay. And remember, only if you want to make it harder, you start scooting the hand forward. That'll make it more intense. Gently release from this side. Open and close a couple of times. And then you're going to put the hand down the exact opposite way. So now it's the back of the hand going toward the ground. If it's directly underneath you, really close, it'll be a lot easier. If you want to scoot it further away, that'll get a lot harder. I have it so that the thumb is toward the left side and the middle finger is still toward my body. Good. Start to release that side, open and close. Maybe roll the wrist out. And when you're ready, second side. So it's the base, the palm itself rotating around and then setting down onto the ground. Closer is easier, further is harder. Up, open and close. And then take the opposite side, back of the hand down toward the ground. Closer is easier, further is harder. And another good inhale. Nice exhale. Pick it up, open and close, and roll it out. The legs need little wiggles. Take it just like a pedaling version of down dog. And then we'll come down toward a seated position. Here we're gonna do cobbler's pose. So this is bottoms of the feet together, knees just starting to open up. So however much you wanna open. This can be close or it can be further. Just kind of trying to get the knees to rotate. It actually might be nice, yeah, just do that variation. Yeah. So giving those hips a chance to relax in that stretched state. And without the work in addition to what we're doing, so just relaxing into it, let's try to do the box breath and see how it feels in a peaceful way. There's naturally that pause after the inhale and the exhale. So here we're just exaggerating it just a hair. So one more slow cycle of breath like that. And then we're going to let ourselves start to rise up. From here, the right ankle is going to be placed on the left thigh. Yeah, just do the variation, just ankle coming right up. You're trying to get to a spot where your right hip is opening, so that might mean you're pushing the knee open. That might mean that you're scooting the bottom foot closer toward you so that you can lean a little bit more forward. The ultimate deepest is if you can hug around it, but that one's kind of hard to get the balance, so don't feel like you have to go there. Another good inhale. Exhale. As we start to release this right leg, you're going to grab onto thigh, calf, or foot, and let this leg straighten out in front of you. This right foot gets to go to the ground. Left ankle comes up to the right thigh. You can push on the knee. You can slide the right foot in. You can lean forward, backward. It's whatever variation helps your hip. And another good inhale. Exhale. Now this leg we grab onto thigh or calf or foot and let it stretch out as well. Good. As we set this down, we're going to go back to the forward fold with both legs that we were working on before. So if you like the hug, set the hug up, really tight connection, and then start walking the feet forward. If you prefer just to let the legs go straight and then kind of lean forward, that's okay as well by this point. Personal preference. Nice inhale. Exhale, release the hands to help you rise back up. From here, we're going to use the blocks to help us go into a gentle back bend. So I don't recommend the blocks going super high. I like the low height, or maybe the first one closest to you is the medium height, and then the one for your head will be the low height. But essentially, you're setting yourself up, and I'll give you in just a moment. Essentially, you're setting yourself up so that when you lay over backwards, you're supported in a back bend. It's not too deep, but it's enough that you do feel your heart opening. What you'll do is grab your block and just place it behind you as you sit up to the chair so that it helps you to just a little bit of launch. And if your head doesn't feel supported, adjust the blocks until you feel like it's doing okay. So if the middle one needs to bump it down to the low one, that's okay as well. It's more like laying on a bolster if they're the same height, which is totally fine. Feel the shoulders rolling open to the space behind you. And if you still need adjustments, feel free to take them. Sometimes I put the block a little bit too low and so it's jabbing into my lumbar spine, that low back. So if it's too low, just bump it up a little bit to make sure it's comfortable. Feel how easy it is to take deep breaths when the heart is open like this. And you don't have to take the next option if you're completely enjoying yourself where you're at with the heart opening like this. But if you'd like to roll around through the shoulder joint, what you're going to do is grab onto each of your elbows and start off with the arms rising up above head. Take a breath there. And then still holding onto the elbows, you're going to pull the elbows over toward the right side. This should stretch the left shoulder. And then gently the circle goes down toward your belly. Over to the left, helping to stretch the right shoulder. And up. Good, let's take one more circle if you're doing that option. Counterclockwise, so the other direction. Going to the left. And down. The right. and up. And then release the elbows, arms are open off to each side again. From here, as we're heading toward the Shavasana pose, if you like that back bend, you're welcome to stay with that shape. If you'd prefer to remove it now, start to scoot the blocks away. And just feel your spine come back into the normal straight alignment. Sometimes it's nice to do any last little wiggles here, maybe a twist to each side, maybe hug the knees into the chest, rock around for a moment as the back gets a little massage, coming back to that straight alignment. So just take another minute or so to do any of these last little movements that feel good for the body, whatever it looks like. Twist, anything like that. Knees falling to one side and the other. And keep the wiggles going until it feels like you're comfortable, you're ready to release in our Shavasana pose. And then you'll find yourself just resting. We're here for about 3 more minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. So as you're here, start to let the box breath be a game to play with. Kind of trying to play with the longness of it. If our 4 counts has been kind of quick throughout all of class, like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe start to play with a beat more like inhale, 2, 3, 4, much slower. Letting the breath be our entire focus for the next couple of minutes. If you're still with the box breath, let that completely release, returning back to your natural breath for a few rounds. And just notice anything that might be different in your body from this point in class compared to the very beginning. Start to let little wiggles come back to the extremities, fingers and toes. And then slowly moving the movements, increasing them until we get to the midline. Maybe we're at ankles and wrists now. Maybe including more of the arms and the legs. Until eventually it's like we're stretching first thing in the morning. Eventually, when you feel ready for a nice fetal position, let yourself roll over to one side. Take a couple of breaths, maybe 3 or 4 breaths, until you feel ready to come up toward our comfortable seated position. And as hands join together in front of our heart, we reconnect to that idea of the circuit, letting the electricity flow through the use of that box breath that we did through class, through the use of even just the lungs pumping you in and out for us. Feel your connection of your nervous system down to your fingertips. Feel what you can down through the toes. Even take a breath using those nerves to help you smell. All of our circuits are connected. We're feeling energized and complete. So with this recharging of our battery to help lead us into the rest of this day, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.